You're there, standing still, listening to this message. And you have no idea how closely the spiritual world is watching your silence. Because in silence, the true power of the Chosen One reveals itself. Yes, you who already understand that you're not like the others, that your mind goes further, that your eyes see what no one else can see. And because of that, you've become a target. Have you noticed? The more you awaken, the more temptations appear to steal your focus, the more provocations arise, the more people seem to test you. That is no coincidence. That is a spiritual attack. And the most dangerous thing of all is this: when the Chosen One opens their mouth before the right time, when you reveal your plans, when you respond to attacks, when you try to justify your light to those who exist only to dim it, there is something you must understand now, and this could save you. Silence is an armor, and pretending you don't know is a weapon of spiritual warfare. This is not cowardice, it's divine intelligence, heavenly strategy. The true Chosen One doesn't react the way the world does. He observes, he calculates, he remains silent. Because those who answer everything reveal everything. Those who speak too much give away their codes, expose their anointing, uncover their purpose. Do you think Joseph would have reached the throne of Egypt if he had told all his dreams to his brothers? Oh no. He did tell them, and he was thrown into a pit. He was sold. He was humiliated. But he learned that great dreams must be kept in the womb of the soul until the moment of revelation. Listen to this. God didn't reveal certain things to you so you could talk about them. He revealed them so you could live them. And the spiritual realm has no mercy on loud fools. There are forces working against you right now, and those forces feed on your words. Every time you comment, explain, vent, you're opening portals. Portals of envy, of doubt, of sabotage. They don't need to know what you're going to do. They only need to hear that you're going to do it, and they begin to move against it. So, protect what God gave you. Pretend you don't notice, that you didn't understand, that you're distracted. It is in that pretending that your strategy lives, because while they think you're unaware, you're praying. While they underestimate you, you're preparing. While they laugh at you, heaven is planning your exaltation. Do you know what irritates darkness the most? It's not your strength. It's not your wisdom. It's your silence. Because in silence, they don't know where to strike. In silence, they can't see what's coming. In silence, you connect with the divine. There are people who get close to you just to extract your secrets, to know your weakness. They laugh with you, call you a friend, pretend to support you. But they are spies sent by the spirit of distraction. And you, who were prepared by God for greater things, can no longer fall into that trap. Say nothing, even if it hurts, even if you're excited, even if you're bursting inside. Keep it in, swallow it, breathe, pray. Whoever has learned to be silent has already won half the battle. This is not the time to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to explain your process. You don't need to justify your steps. You don't need to announce your victories before they manifest. Even Jesus, before his accusers, remained silent. He knew that truth doesn't need to make noise. It needs to be fulfilled. When you respond, you make yourself equal. When you argue, you step down. When you try to prove yourself, you lose focus from the mission. You weren't called to convince anyone. You were called to fulfill a destiny. And those who fulfill destiny learn to pretend they didn't hear, learn to smile while being attacked, learn to keep walking as if nothing happened. That is the mark of the wise. That is the mark of the chosen. Because while others shout, you build. While others mock, you plant. While others expose everything, you cloak yourself in the invisible. Don't be deceived. Your life is a sacred code, and sacred codes are not thrown to the pigs. So when someone tries to provoke you, smile. When someone asks too many questions, change the subject. When someone tries to measure your strength, pretend weakness. This is the language of the Spirit. This is the language of those trained by the Most High. Pretend you don't know. Keep silent and prepare yourself for the moment when God Himself will make noise for you. Because when heaven decides to exalt you, no tongue, no envy, no comment, no attack can stop it. The time of revelation is coming. But for now, it's the time of silence. They think they know you, that they can read your thoughts, that they can predict your every move. But little do they know, your silence is a veil of protection that confuses even spiritual forces. Do you know why? Because the chosen one has learned that those who truly live no longer need to prove anything. You are not a label. You are not an explanation. You are not a reaction. You are a mystery. And mystery is God's favorite language. The spiritual eyes that pursue you feed off your exposure. Every time you share too much, explain too much, show too much, you're creating openings. Openings that are not just emotional, but spiritual. Remember Samson, a strong man, set apart by God, filled with anointing. But all it took was opening his mouth and revealing the secret of his power. And he was defeated by someone who pretended to love him. Delilah didn't need strength, just words. That's why you must understand. It's not about hiding out of fear. It's about staying silent out of wisdom. Silence is not weakness. It's maturity. It's self-control. It's reverence for what is sacred. You are carrying something that the world doesn't yet understand. And when you try to explain the unexplainable, you end up cheapening what is holy. There is an anointing over your life that is still being formed. Like a baby in the womb, it needs shelter, silence, and protection. Speak before the time, and you drive the blessing out of its hiding place. Yes, there are moments when even the blessing needs to hide, because some eyes are not neutral, some questions are traps, some compliments are disguises, and you, chosen one, must see beyond. God trained you to recognize. He gave you the sensitivity to discern. But now He asks, do not react. Don't speak. Don't answer. Don't justify. There are attacks that are not defeated with shouts. There are persecutions that are not silenced with arguments. There are spiritual wars that can only be won with silence. Have you noticed how silence disarms the curious? How it irritates the gossipers? How it confuses the manipulators? Because they feed off your reaction. They want to see you lose control, explain yourself, open up. But when you stay silent, you throw them into their own confusion. That's strategy. Pretending not to notice is protecting yourself. Pretending not to know is preserving what's sacred. Pretending to be distracted is putting yourself one step ahead. You must accept that not everything should be said. Not every victory should be shared. Not every plan should be revealed. The universe works best when you collaborate with the invisible. And if God placed you in silence, It's because he's working behind the scenes, and the worst thing you could do is try to narrate something that is still under construction. Imagine a house under renovation. Would you invite guests to walk through rubble, wet cement, unfinished walls? Of course not. You wait until it's ready. You decorate. You prepare. Only then, you show it. The same applies to your spiritual journey. Your calling is still being aligned. Your mission is still being shaped. To speak now is to spoil the divine surprise, to hand your path over to the enemy. You were attacked because you spoke too much in the past. You were exposed because you opened up to people who didn't deserve your truth. You were betrayed by those who heard what you should have kept sacred. But now, that's over. Now you understand. Now you see that true strength lies in self-control, because the world is too noisy. Everyone wants to be heard. Everyone wants to prove a point. But the chosen don't have time to prove anything. They're too busy living the divine plan. You are one of them, and that's exactly why your silence bothers them so much. It carries codes. It signals maturity. It announces that heaven is about to move. Listen closely. Those who talk too much lose their direction. Those who explain everything become predictable. Those who react to everything become puppets in the hands of spiritual manipulators. But you are no puppet. You are an arrow, a tool, a channel for an eternal purpose. So instead of justifying yourself, pray. Instead of defending yourself, give thanks. Instead of speaking, write. But only for you and God. Speak to the Most High. Speak to the invisible. Speak to the Father. He understands what no one else could. Because even your groans, your tears, and your silences are understood by Him. You are in training. And silence is a fundamental part of this journey. It's in silence that you hear what noise cannot reveal. It's in silence that you align with divine timing. It's in silence that your enemies grow confused and fall away. Believe this, some people test you just to see if you'll reveal your path. Some strike up conversations only to find your weakness. Some praise you just to distract you. But you, chosen one, already understand. This is no longer about naivety. It's about positioning. Pretend. Yes, pretend you didn't catch the provocation. Pretend you didn't see the look. Pretend you didn't hear the comment. Because that is spiritual wisdom. And those who master the art of silence have already won half the spiritual battle before it even begins. There comes a point in the journey of the chosen where silence becomes more than a choice. It becomes a shield. You no longer stay quiet out of fear. You stay quiet out of wisdom, because you know that every word spoken before its time can become an open portal for the enemy to enter. There are things you've been through that no one would understand, even if you explained them. There are pains you carry that not even those who love you could bear. There are plans that God placed inside of you, so big, so far from ordinary, that if you told someone, they'd call you crazy. And that's okay, because the greatest spiritual secrets have always been kept in silence. What is sacred is hidden. What is prophetic is protected. What is transformative is not revealed to the curious. Have you noticed that Jesus' greatest miracles often happened in anonymity? He healed and said, "Go, but don't tell anyone." He did the impossible and asked for silence. Why? Because heaven understands the danger of premature exposure. Because before a divine purpose is revealed to the world, it must first mature in the unseen. And this is exactly where many chosen ones go wrong. They speak too soon. They reveal too early. They shout when they should whisper, and end up aborting what God had placed in spiritual gestation. Your life is like a seed, and seeds only grow in the dark, in the soil, in silence, in the right environment. You are being cultivated. While everyone thinks nothing is happening, God is building your structure from within. And that's why you must not explain yourself. Don't waste your time trying to convince anyone. You weren't called to justify your journey. You were called to fulfill it, and to fulfill it in silence. Yes, they will judge you. They will doubt you. They'll think you gave up, when in reality, you're just getting ready. Let them think what they want. While they watch from the outside, God is strengthening you from within. There's a glory forming inside of you that no one can see. And when it is revealed, everyone will understand the reason for your silence. But until then, stay quiet. Don't entrust your truth to just anyone. Don't expose your steps to those who lack spiritual sensitivity. Because there are heavy gazes, there are poisoned words, there are ears that are only there to weaken you. And you, chosen one, must preserve what you carry. It's not pride, it's discernment. If even precious stones must be kept away from dust to shine, why are you exposing your light before those who live in darkness? Have you noticed how silence is often misunderstood? They say you're cold, that you're distant, that you've changed. But in truth, you've simply learned. You learned that talking too much delayed your growth. You learned that opening your heart to everyone only hurt you. You learned that not every hug is a blessing, and not every question comes from good intentions. Silence taught you to see deeper, and now you're no longer the same. You've matured, and with that maturity comes divine strategy to act with wisdom, not emotion. Look, the spiritual world is governed by frequency, and when you speak, you vibrate. When you vibrate, you attract. That's why when you speak your plans out loud, you attract forces that seek to block them. But when you keep them hidden, you shield them. God didn't give you vision so you could expose it. He gave you vision so you could build it. And every true construction requires discretion. Remember Nehemiah? A man called by God to rebuild the walls. You know what he did? Before telling anyone, he went out at night, alone, and inspected everything in silence. He didn't tell a single soul what God had placed in his heart. Only later, when everything was in order, did he speak. And that's why he succeeded. You need to learn from him. Before you share, analyze. Before you reveal, pray. Before you speak, confirm if the person has the capacity to handle what you carry. Because what you carry is too precious to be placed in the wrong hands. Don't be naive anymore. Your energy is rare. Your presence is powerful. That's why they stare. That's why they follow you. That's why they envy and imitate you. But no one understands where this light comes from. And the secret is, it comes from your silence. Because the chosen shines brighter when they stay silent. The chosen grows more when they observe. The chosen impacts more when they let God act first. God will honor you, but first, He will teach you to guard what is holy, to guard what is divine, to guard what is yours alone. And when the time comes, when the season is ripe, the world will see. Without you having to say a word, they will simply see it. They will feel it. They will recognize it. But for now, pretend you don't know. Hold your silence. and keep moving forward as if you've noticed nothing, as if you didn't see the attack, as if you didn't hear the criticism, as if you never caught on to their schemes. Because that pretending is wisdom. It is spiritual strategy. It is how you protect what heaven entrusted to you. Have you ever realized how much your presence bothers people, even when you don't say a single word? You walk into a room, and the atmosphere shifts. You say nothing, yet all eyes are on you. You stay silent, and still, rumors start, suspicion arises, resistance appears. This is not a coincidence. It's because your energy carries codes that the eyes can't comprehend, but the spirit can feel. And when the spirit of darkness senses the presence of a chosen one, it reacts, even if you're silent, even if you pretend not to notice, even if you move like someone who doesn't want attention. The spiritual world knows who you are, and that is exactly why silence has become your greatest weapon. Have you ever tried to explain yourself to someone who chose not to understand you? Have you ever tried to share your soul with someone who lives in darkness? Have you ever tried to tell your calling to someone stuck in the natural? It's pointless. You weren't called to convince anyone. You were set apart to carry something invisible and eternal. And the invisible cannot be explained. The eternal is not up for debate. If they mock you, let them. If they doubt you, smile. If they accuse you, remain silent. Because silence screams far louder in the spiritual realm than any human justification. The great masters of wisdom knew when to speak and when to be silent. And whenever the danger increased, they chose silence. Why? Because silence leaves no trace. Words leave footprints. But silence is a hidden path. Only God sees where you walk. And that's how you must walk now. Discreet, strategic, invisible to the enemy's eyes. You no longer need to defend yourself. God is shielding you. You no longer need to announce anything. Heaven is already speaking on your behalf. You no longer need to shout. Your presence already carries a sound that echoes in the unseen. But be warned, silence is only powerful when it comes with awareness. This isn't about hiding, it's about mastery. The silence of the weak is fear, but the silence of the chosen is spiritual authority. You stay quiet, but you see everything. You pretend, but you discern it all. You walk slowly, but you're already 10 steps ahead. Because silence placed you in a realm where only the wise can dwell. A dimension where you no longer react to provocations, where you don't waste energy on those who are not on your level, where you understand that the greatest treasure of your journey is the peace you carry, and peace is built in silence. You've already learned that the more you talk, the more you drain yourself, the more you try to prove, the more time you lose, the more you open up to the world, the more you expose yourself to attack. But now, you live the opposite. You hide yourself in God. You protect yourself with silence. You let Him go before you. And when God goes ahead, the chosen one doesn't need to say a thing. Doors open, attacks dissolve, plans are fulfilled. And those who doubted you, simply watch. You are entering a season where your victory won't be announced. It will be witnessed. No noise, no speeches, no early revelations. It will simply happen. And when they ask, how did this happen? When did this all start? You will smile. Because only you and God know how much you stayed silent, how much you cried in silence, how loyal you remained, even while being attacked, how much you endured without complaining. And heaven honors that kind of loyalty. There is a divine mystery that surrounds anyone who stays silent out of wisdom. It's as if God Himself says, "This one I can trust. This one understands the times. This one doesn't sell their soul for attention. This one is ready to be used." And that's why He is lifting you up in silence. He is healing you in silence. He is repositioning you in silence. You think nothing is happening, but the spiritual world is already in motion. There are blessings on the way that no one expects. There are answers arriving where there was only silence. There are doors opening, and you haven't even touched them. Because when the chosen learns to be quiet, heaven begins to speak for them. You've reached that point. Now, you no longer have to pretend to be weak. Now, your silence carries authority. The time for explanations is over. Now is the time for manifestation. But true manifestation comes in silence. While everyone is distracted, you are being elevated. While they mock, you are being prepared. While they doubt, you are being equipped. And no one will be able to stop it. Because what is born in silence cannot be stopped. And what is being born inside you now is greater than anything that ever wounded you. Now listen closely. There is a power that only activates when you stop speaking. There is a protection that only descends when you stop explaining yourself. There is a kind of miracle that only happens when you choose complete silence. And that's exactly where you are right now. It's time to stop justifying your steps to those who don't understand your walk. To stop trying to convince people who lack the spiritual capacity to comprehend who you are. To stop handing pearls to those who only want to see them trampled in the mud. Your silence is not cowardice. It's a response. It's a spiritual declaration. It's your way of saying, "I do not belong to this world." And those who don't understand your language will never understand your calling. You need to accept that some people will walk away. Some will think you've changed. Others will speak behind your back. But God sends you this message. Don't worry. They didn't abandon you. I removed them. Because there are things you need to go through, alone. Moments that require complete separation. Experiences that demand spiritual retreat. And it's in the desert of silence that the true chosen one is refined. You are in invisible training. With every attack you ignored, you advanced. With every lie you didn't respond to, you won. With every plan you kept quiet, you shielded it. And now, you're ready. Ready to enter a phase where God will begin speaking for you. Prepare yourself, because it will happen like this. People will look at you and feel something they can't explain. They'll notice that something has changed. They'll feel discomfort, unease, reverence, something they never sensed before. And all of that, without you saying a single word. You will be respected because of the anointing. You will be heard because of the authority. You will be honored because of your faithfulness, because heaven rewards those who stayed silent while being broken, those who kept praying even without understanding, those who kept walking even with a shattered heart. God saw you stay silent to avoid wounding others. He saw you enduring in silence what many couldn't bear, even with screams. God saw it all. And now, He's about to act. And when He moves, there is no room for doubt. They will witness your life transforming. They will see doors opening where there was nothing. They will see resources appear out of nowhere. They will see healing taking place, divine connections forming, paths unfolding. and all of it will look like magic. But you know it's not magic. It's a harvest. You're reaping what you sowed in silence. Your tears, your lonely nights, your quiet prayers, your hidden fasting, your buried pain, none of it was in vain. All of it built an invisible altar, which is now about to become visible to all. So, stay silent but walk with confidence. Keep pretending you don't know, but move with authority. Keep smiling on the outside, but on the inside, know this: you're stronger than ever. Because now, silence has become your mantle. And that mantle covers you. It hides you from enemies. It lifts you without effort. It separates you for divine purposes. Chosen one, this is the time to observe, without reacting, to discern, without judging, to wait, without rushing, and when the time comes, to act with divine precision. God is about to place you in spaces where no one expected to see you. He will exalt you before those who humiliated you. He will raise you in front of those who mocked your waiting. But until then, say nothing. Because what's coming is too big to explain, too deep to put into words, too powerful to be tainted by human opinion. It is divine, it is yours, and it's on the way. If you made it this far, it's because something far greater is calling you. Don't ignore this spiritual confirmation. This video was sent to you, and you know it. So now, fulfill your part. Like this video, it signals to the spiritual realm that you received the message. Comment below, "I receive in silence what is mine by divine right." This comment is a declaration of faith and wisdom, a silent act of spiritual warfare. Share this video with someone who needs to wake up, someone who's exposing too much, speaking when they shouldn't, trusting the wrong people. Send this message and be a vessel of warning and transformation. And above all, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. Here you receive deep spiritual messages, hidden revelations, and alerts the world will never give you. Be part of a community that is not in this world by accident. You feel that, don't you? Then confirm it now. Like, comment, share, subscribe, because heaven is waiting for your response.